Hey everybody, Grant Miller here, Miami Communities. I'm with Cindy Gil-Avila, founder of, what company is it?
Capability Growth Associates.
That's a long title. Okay, let's talk about when was it started? And you founded it?
I founded it. I founded it in 2021, but slowly ramped it up into full-fledged operations in 2023. So we've been about a year.
Before we get to the company, let's find out, you're born where?
Colombia, Bogota.
When did you move to Miami?
I moved to Miami when I was 8 years old in 1992, right after Andrew.
Right after?
Right after.
And where did your parents move? Your parents you all came together?
Well, the reason we moved here was because my father passed away when I was 7 in Colombia, and my mother was left with me and my sister. I was 7 at that time. My sister was about 11. And her family already lived here. So left alone with 2 daughters, she decided to come meet her family. We moved to Miami. We lived in Virginia Gardens at that time.
VG.
VG.
Okay, so you moved to VG. What elementary school did you go to?
Miami Springs Elementary.
Can you remember any teacher, your favorite teacher from Miami Springs Elementary?
I don't remember specific teachers. Remember, I came as an ESOL student learning English in 4th grade, trying to adapt into the school and just make it through.
When did you start learning? As soon as you came in, you had to learn English.
Of course. I started at the end of 3rd grade. I only did like 2 months in 3rd grade, took ESOL classes 4th grade. And then by 5th grade, I was actually fully fluent, and I started their gifted program.
Wow.
So
impressive.
It was quick. I was small, so it was a quick learning.
It's still difficult. Okay, so then what middle school did you go to?
Miami Springs Middle.
Any favorite teacher there?
Mr. Callahan.
Why?
Social studies, history. He had a very casual way of teaching. He was not big on a lot of writing or testing, but he always made us tell him the story, tell him what we learned, explain it to him, what was our key takeaway. And it made me learn more, and it made me remember things better. So I just really loved his approach. He was very non-traditional.
You went to high school at Miami Springs, I assume?
He was actually, Mr. Callahan was in high school. In high school.
And then you went to FIU or Miami-Dade next?
Then I went to FIU, and I did my bachelor's in international business and real estate.
And you got a master's where?
And then I did my master's at Nova Southeastern in focus on human resource management.
All right, so you graduate college. What was your first job?
My first job was, well, I worked since I was in high school. After college. After college, I was an HR manager at a small company in Blue Lagoon called the Great American Hangar Company. It was very small. I was running everything that was human resources for them, from payroll, recruiting, training, and I was there for about 4 years. The company was, when I started, was about 25 employees. Within 2 years, it grew to over 50, multiple, and moved to another state. So that was my big learning, where I got my first-hand experience and everything that had to do with human resources and knowing how to scale human resources through that experience.
All right. So when did you founded your company? How many years later after that?
About 13 years later, 15 years later. So, you know, I worked at that small organization and was able to realize that my passion was for learning and development, and that I really love that area of human resources. So I shifted to a company called Polyconcept North America, which is the biggest promotional manufacturer of promotional products. And it's a global organization. And they have one of their companies is located in Hialeah, Bullet Line. And I worked there for almost 9 years, doing everything that had to do with learning and development for the employees at the Hialeah facility, and eventually the North America division, where I did training and development for Miami, Kentucky, Pittsburgh, and Toronto. So that was definitely also a great learning experience at a really big organization.
All right, so you opened your company by yourself.
Yes.
And your first day opening under your own name, were you nervous?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's always nerve-wracking to be an entrepreneur and to take a risk, but I was ready. I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always knew that I wanted to start my own business, but I always knew that I had to be really ready I needed to have enough experience. I needed to have the educational background. I needed to be in a place where I could do my best and feel confident. So after PCNA, I worked at Perry Ellis. And then I also worked for 4 years at YPO. Yes.
Wow. That's a great organization.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
And they do a lot of paying forward. They give a lot back to the community.
They absolutely do. They are huge on corporate responsibility and sustainability. And they are by far one of the best organizations with the most innovative IT and just innovation in general in the fashion industry.
Okay. So you come into a business, and how are you going to help them?
Well, I help them with focusing on the employee experience. So, in many organizations, there's so much focus on the customer experience. Is our website friendly? Do they like our services? What feedback are they giving us? Are they giving us positive reviews? Do they like our products? Is it quality? I want to turn that same level of focus to the employee experience. How are we treating them? How do they feel? Are they appreciated? How are we attracting the right talent? When they get hired, are we giving them the tools and the knowledge and the support that they need to be successful? Do they want to stay here? Are they happy here? Do they feel fulfilled here? Are they learning? Your employees are the primary reason why your business is successful.
Or not successful.
Or not successful. So if we focus on creating a positive experience for them from selection all the way through when they retire or when they leave us or when they depart, then your business is going to be more profitable and your business is going to have a better culture, better customer service, more productivity, higher retention. So my organization truly focuses on creating positive employee experiences throughout the entire employee life cycle. And one of the key areas in which we do this with is through also fostering a culture of learning and continuous growth. Because if your employees are not growing and if they're not always learning, then you're not going to have creativity, innovation, collaboration.
It sounds easy.
Right.
As a business owner, as my brother and I are, it's not easy doing all those things to make it successful. Not everybody wants to learn more. I learned enough. I don't want to do more. So it's a challenge as a business owner. How do you overcome these challenges?
Well, I think you really have to understand your people and meet them where they are. There are individuals who maybe don't want to go back to school to get a degree or certification, but they need to learn the system that you're using at your company better to be more productive. So that's where you focus. But there may be somebody working right next to them that does want to go out and get a certification or go back to school or become a manager or a leader. So you really need to tailor the learning opportunities to where each employee is at. It's not a cookie, one size fits all. You cannot say everybody's going to go through this training and everybody's going to learn this one thing. You have to truly learn who your employees are, what is it that's driving them, and what's going to make their life better so that they could be, in return, better employees. And I think that's the key thing right now. We have to identify who we're working with and what we need to give them so that they could be successful. And it's hard. It's hard because it requires time and dedication to your team.
All right, pick one of your clients. Names immaterial. What do you do to make them more successful?
We could implement training and development for their managers and leaders.
No, give me one of your clients, like you felt that you really made a difference.
Okay, I just recently did a leadership development program for the city of North Miami Beach, where I worked with all of their directors or all their department heads and the city manager and the human resources directors, the one that brought me on board, there? Mario Diaz.
Right.
The HR director.
Who's seasoned. He knows what's going on.
Extremely experienced. Just recently came into that team. Yes. Is really rallying together the departments. Has a completely new vision for how the city runs and operates and what they want to do for the community. So it was great to be able to come in at this phase and create cohesion within the team. We did several training sessions where we focused on effective communication between the departments. We focus on confidence in conflict resolution and dealing with conflict productively, innovation, emotional intelligence. So working with that level of leaders and helping him execute his vision and growth for his department heads, we know that the best is yet to come, because now we're going to do development for their next in lines, so their managers and their supervisors, and that's really going to create a triple effect for all the employees within the city.
Well, this happened to be the client you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's brilliant of the manager, because the cities have been struggling, and I say the city, that company's been struggling with image, staffing, and he brings somebody in to help him facilitate. That was very smart of him.
Absolutely. If you really want to improve the overall perception, the brand, and the experience of their employees, they have to start with themselves. They have to start with the leaders. How do we want to lead? What do we want to represent? And then make sure that they equip the next in line. Because at the end of the day, the city manager doesn't directly work with every single employee at the city. So we have to make sure that it trickles down to the rest.
The challenge we have as owners, you say something, they hear something different. So when you communicate with staff or team, as we call teammates, how do you communicate with them? Do you do it just in writing? Do you do it in person? Do you do both? What's your suggestion?
All of the above. You have to communicate and repeat it 7 times different ways so that it really gets absorbed cohesively. And what's most important is that every leader is saying the same thing, that the message is consistent. Because if everybody makes a decision in the boardroom and then everyone has their own spin on how they communicate it down to their teams, then that's where you lose the effectiveness of it.
You have your team managers, and they explain something, and they all hear it different. That's why you have to say it and write it.
Absolutely. You have to say it. You have to have it in write. You have to repeat it. If you have a monthly meeting with your team or a quarterly meeting with your team, bring it back up again. So that it continues to be reinforced. Anything that we communicate, if we only communicate it once, it's going to be forgotten right away, interpreted differently.
Interpreted, the biggest issue.
But if you keep the message consistent and go through different channels and bring it up in different scenarios and give examples, then it starts resonating with people, and they start going from like, okay, I'm interpreting this way, to like, I understand what you're trying to convey. So communicating is one of the key things, and we don't do enough of it. We think that because we send one email, here's the decision, this is what we're going to do, and we send one email to everyone, that's communicating, and that's not effective communication. We have to make sure that we give people the opportunity to ask questions. What about this? You said this, but we don't have the budget, or we don't have enough time, or we don't have the resources, and that's not going to work because of this other thing. We have to give them the opportunity to reflect back, give us feedback, and give us ideas for it to be effective.
You have small clients, you have big clients.
Yes.
The smallest clients, give me how many employees?
Nonprofit with 3 full-time employees and maybe 20 contractors.
Big client, your biggest client, one of your biggest clients.
I did management training for Carnival. So they have a great L&D department who put
What's L&D?
Learning and development. So they have a great learning and development department that put this great program for their managers, for their customer sales and customer service department. And they brought me in as a facilitator for that training. It was 8 topics across 3 days. And
exciting.
That was exciting. That was a great opportunity, a great program that they had developed, but I helped them facilitate it for their team. And it was Carnival's huge, so it was one of my biggest clients so far.
What is your webpage?
Capabilitygrowth.com.
Can you put that in there? Can you help them put it on? We're going to put that thing across the bottom. Okay, so why would somebody hire you? In a nutshell, my sales are okay, my staff's okay, I really can't afford you, I have no money, why should I hire you?
Because the environment is quickly changing. The workplace, the workforce is quickly changing. What employees wanted a few years ago is not what they want today. With technology changes, we have to get innovative and creative. So even if things are running okay today with your employees, you have to be one step ahead. So what can we do today so that we could remain competitive a year from now, 2 years from now, so that the good employees that we have today stay with us? it is so easy nowadays to make money on your own, right? We have the gig economy. We have people who are leaving corporate to start their own businesses because they can. You could do it through social media. They could do it directly with businesses. So you have to have a really high value proposition for the employees. Like, this is what you need to do for the company, but this is what the company is going to do for you. This is how you're going to grow with us. This is how you're going to be fulfilled. This is how you're going to make impact and give value to our organization. And some companies don't have that well defined. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Some companies know what they do and what they do for the customers, and I need you to come in and live this. But if we don't shift our focus to our employees, it's only a matter of time before they leave us, and we're going to struggle to find the right talent.
I just want to make sure this is correct. Coming across, is that correct?
Agilitygrowth.com. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the challenge is for any size business. You're always worrying about somebody's going to leave, and are they going to go on their own? And we think it's more now, but I'm back in the early days. People are always trying to make more money and try to be more successful.
Right.
Okay, so now that we know about your business, so you serve not just South Florida, you go all over the country, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I have clients in Texas and throughout Florida and anywhere. I've worked for global companies, so I've done projects with India, with Europe.
You speak English and Spanish.
English and Spanish.
And Spanglish.
And Spanglish and Cuban. Yeah. I'm Colombian and I speak Cuban.
Perfect. All right. So now we know about your company, your history. Now we're going to know who you really are. Here are the challenges. Because people, when I do business with vendors or people, I want to know who they are, how they feel. I just don't want to do business with anybody.
Right.
So we're going to challenge you now.
Okay.
The real challenge. Your favorite pizza place. Where do you eat pizza? Come on.
Siamo.
Okay. Your favorite cowboy movie or cowboy?
Oh my God, I'm not big into cowboys, so I don't have an answer for that.
Hialeah was all cowboys. Did you know that?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm not big on
Your favorite hot dog place?
Oh my God, Pepito's in Doral.
Where's that?
On 58th and like 102.
Okay, wait, Claire. You have to go to Arbetter's. That's Bird Road and 88th.
Okay.
And you order the #1 hot dog there. You know what it is?
No.
The Grant Miller hot dog.
Oh, I will go. I will check it out.
Your favorite cheeseburger place?
Five Guys.
Okay. Who's your hero?
My husband.
Oh, my God. We'll talk about that at the end. Your favorite taco place?
Oh, I loved a taco, but they closed in Miami Springs.
There's no other taco place there?
No.
Yes, there is.
Which
on the Circle.
one? Oh, yes, but that was not my favorite.
Okay. All right. Thanksgiving. Give me some words that represent you.
Family, delicious food.
Where's Thanksgiving? Where do you usually have it?
Usually at my mother's house, or it used to be at my mother-in-law's before she passed away.
Okay, and how many people would show up?
Oh, at my mother's house, anywhere, never under 50. At my mother-in-law's, it was maybe a group of 15 or 20.
Your favorite animal?
Otters.
Oh, wow.
They cuddle.
Your favorite sushi place?
Sushi Maki in Miami Springs Circle.
Okay. Here's some tough questions. Husband's birthday?
June 25, 1984.
Your two kids. I don't need the year. Your two kids.
October 13 and August 5th.
Mother-in-law?
August 26.
Wow. Family members? Name them. Sisters, brothers, birthdays, dads, moms.
Oh, I know them all.
I don't believe you.
Sister, October 10th. My older sister, Karen, February 22nd. My mother, September 27th. My stepdad is November 3rd. November 3rd.
Okay. Okay. Two more things. We'll see how good you are. Where do you eat fish when you go out? Where's your favorite place to eat fish?
I love crab legs at the Fatty Crab.
Where?
The Fatty Crab.
Where's that?
It's in Doral on 87th and 18th.
that Doral or
It's in Doral.
You sure it's in Doral or in Sweetwater?
No, well,
Good question.
good question. I don't know where the where the
Okay.
boundaries are there.
For the last question. So you say your husband is one of your heroes. Why?
Because he's a man of character and he serves as a public servant in the Florida Senate, and he's also in the military.
What branch?
He's a oh my goodness, in the National Guard, Air Force, in the National Guard from the Army.
So when did you meet him? Your first glimpse of him?
Geometry class in 8th grade in Miami Springs Middle School.
Did you start dating then?
No.
You're in VG then, so rules are different.
I was in VG and he was a Hialeah boy, and we met halfway in Miami Springs. And
you've been together since? No.
Yes, we started dating when I was 14 in 8th grade, and we stayed together through high school, college, eventually got married in 2009.
Wow.
And I'll have 2 beautiful children, Olivia, that is 9, and Brandon, that is 7.
Okay, last thing. The magic of the mix. Why is your company successful, and how can you help me?
Well, my company is successful because I'm passionate about what I do, and I have a heart that truly wants to help individuals grow, and by doing that, we help the companies grow. And they should hire me if they want to improve their employee experience, and they want to bring innovative training ideas and development ideas to their companies and be prepared for the future. They need to help their employees grow so that they can continue to grow and be successful.
If you want your business to grow and be more successful, reach out to Cindy. Everybody, have a great day.
Thank you.